everyone, Hungry Reader here. Let's talk about the origins of the word cowabunga.
Oh, cowabunga, I'm hungry. Let me have some of your banana.
It was coined on Howdy Doody back in the 50s as the catchphrase of the character Chief Thunderfud. At the time, it was spelled with a K, cowabunga.
Cowabunga, no, that clown looks sillier on television than he does in person.
Yeah, but he might tell a secret.
As the baby boomers grew up, they took it with them into the burgeoning surf culture, where it became a rallying cry like Geronimo. This is how it was used by the character that most Generation Xers associate the word with, Cookie Monster.
Cowabunga! The Cookie Monster, don't eat the book.
But if you're like me, and the editors of People magazine Celebrate the 80s special, you know who all the millennial kids associate that word with. That's right, from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fame, it was Terrapins! Wait, what? Truthfully, I was never a huge Ninja Turtles fan. I mean, the main reason I was watching it was because it was what came on before the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Look, don't judge me. But I was a heck of a lot bigger of a fan than some of the people who were getting paid to write about the Turtles back in their heyday. Shoot, I could do a whole video just featuring the crazy things people wrote in video game magazines about that weird, lazy NES game. But today, I have got two totally turtle-based books to share with you from the year 1990, the year that the Turtles were Elvis and Bart Simpson was the Beatles. If you worked with kids in the 90s, you knew that the Turtles were the gotta-have-it item. If you were a teacher, you knew all their names. If you were a daycare center operator, you knew that Shredder was the bad guy, April was the girl. And if you were a birthday clown, or a magician, or a face painter, or a caricaturist, or anyone who creates art on demand for kids, you knew what the kids wanted that year. Turtles and ninjas and more. Oh my. Yes, believe it or not, there's a whole book dedicated to making Ninja Turtle balloon sculptures. Nowadays, you'll see awe-inspiring balloon sculptures of every stripe online, including the Turtles, of course. But those incredible creations always use lots and lots of balloons, while the sculptures in Turtles and Ninjas and More only use one balloon each. When this book came out, there was a major latex shortage in America. It was mostly needed for rubber gloves, thanks to something else that was big news in the 80s. AIDS. Making superheroic figures like the Turtles with just one balloon is a very difficult feat in and of itself. The few reviews I've seen of this book online say it's for experts only. And I am experienced with this, but I'm no expert, so we'll see how well I do. Writer Frank Thurston takes balloon sculpture for kids very seriously. The book starts out imploring the readers to remember the Turtles' names, signature colors, weapons, and personalities. Leonardo wears blue, Donatello wears purple. Who's this Donatello? I thought the one who wore purple was Terrapins! If you take the time to memorize each turtle's name, what color they wear, and the weapon that they use, not only will you surprise and impress any child by having this knowledge memorized, but you're sure to become an instant hit with the children. Remember, these are their heroes! The Easy Ninja Turtle. It's more like just the easy turtle. There isn't really any ninja or a mutant about it. Although, I guess it would make a pretty good pre-mutant turtle if you want to reenact their origins with balloons. For whatever reason. The Rat. Wait a minute, the Rat? You just went through that whole spiel about remembering their names and personalities and everything, and you don't even know Splinter's name? But come on, these are their heroes! for a kind of a muscle-bound Splinter, but it's not that bad, especially considering that the only way to really make it look like Splinter would be to dress it in a raggedy purple kimono. And hey, if any of the kids are into the Rats of Nim, you've got Justin right here. Or Jenner.
April.
That's always a risk. Okay, my best attempt at April. Now, you'll notice that I ran out of balloon toward the bottom, which is why April has the butt of a bunny. But other than that, the face and arms, at least, are a very nice attempt at a long-haired character. So I can easily see, once you draw the features on and stuff, this could be April. But, you do a pink balloon, it might as well be Princess Peach, or shoot, you do a purple balloon, this could be Shredder. There's a lot of uses for a long-haired balloon.
The Advanced Ninja Turtle.
Okay, he's not kidding when he says this one is tough. I've honestly never gotten through this one all the way without cutting some serious corners along the way. Usually I end up not being able to do the shell, and he just ends up with this really long tail, so he looks more like a ninja Squirtle. Which turtle will we make? It's Leo! Alright. While doing this, April's arm deflated. Am I going to experience a miracle? I'm getting real close. I did it! I did it for the first time and on camera! The Advanced Ninja Turtle! You know what? I'll be right back. This needs to be decorated. I did it! I did it! I can't believe I did it! Da-da-da-da-da-dun! Da-da-da! Yeah!
Leonardo-san, I believe you need to discover the next ninja trick. It is called anabolic steroids.
So that was quite an accomplishment on my part. But, this book, it's good for if you just want enough Ninja Turtle knowledge to work a birthday party, but, what if you want to know the real scoop, the whole dirt, without watching the cartoon or reading the comics or buying the toys or playing the game or eating the cereal or anything like that? Well, not to worry. The folks at Consumer Guide have got you covered, because they display Turtle Power. Consumer Guide put out a number of strange and memorable publications like this in the late 80s. Another famous one was their Strategies for Nintendo Games, featuring scenes from that one weird NES game where tanks launched carrots at pizza monsters and bird astronauts. When you compare the two covers of the books, though, Turtles and Ninjas and More wins easily with its tasteful monochrome comic-inspired artwork. Have you ever seen the box art to the original Mega Man game? This book looks like he drew it. And I don't mean the same artist. I mean it looks like they asked Mega Man to draw it. Since this book is unauthorized, they didn't have access to a lot of the official artwork that was going around. Most of the art used in this is either promotional stills from the 1990 movie or shots they took themselves of action figures. And the information in the book can be even sketchier. It's derived from various newspaper interviews or items from cartoon episodes, or just made up from whole cloth. Let's look at the bio note for Michelangelo. He's everyone's favorite, right? Here we go. Face mask, orange. Yep, that's correct. Weapon, nunchukus. Well, I think they mean nunchaku, but, it's a hard word. Birthplace, Woody's Pet Shop, Pennsylvania. What? You mean he's not from New York? Wait, this says they're all from different states. New Hampshire, Chesapeake Bay. Well, oh my God, Slooooooowklahoma? Okay, disregarding the idea that some poor kid ordered 4 turtles from 4 different states and then took them all for a walk in their bowl and dropped them in the sewer. My question is, when did the United States adopt all these new turtle-related states? Was this part of the Louisiana Purchase or part of some larger program like Carapace Destiny? Anyway, apart from occasional fabricated nonsense, the book does at least acknowledge the Turtles' origins as an independent comic book. It cites interviews with Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird several times. It doesn't mention David Wise, who is the cartoon writer that basically created the Turtles as we know them today, but it does acknowledge the changes that he made since the original comic. They don't growl, and they don't actually kill anyone. They stand for the same principles, though. Except for those principles of growling and killing people, of course. Wait, they used to growl? Well, that would explain why the toys are all molded with that death grimace. Have you ever tried making that face?
Cowabunga, dude! Let's get pizza!
Many of the quotes in this book are provided by Mark Friedman, the entrepreneur who helped Eastman and Laird market the Turtles to Playmates Toys. Of course, you can buy just about anything with the Turtles logo on it now, but he does mention a few things he wouldn't market. A Turtles cologne was turned down, as was a Turtles fishing pole. Can you imagine the Turtles giving their hand to catching fish from the same type of pond where they themselves were born? Quite easily, yes. I sense the marketing department has lost some scruples since 1990. There's even a chapter about the NES game. It's actually kind of a handy walkthrough. For the first 2 levels, at least. When you go on to Area 3, you'll have to rescue Master Splinter. Actually, that happens in Area 5, but, it's not like anyone played that far long enough to find out. Except for Fred Savage's dad and the Wizard. He got the scroll weapon. Now, some of you might be young enough to be surprised that the Turtles had an original Nintendo game. I confess, they have a lot more staying power than even I imagined at the time. The book presents its own theory for why they've been sticking around for so long.
They sound like kids. California kids.
That is something I've never understood. They're being raised by a rat whose first language is Japanese, and they all live in New York City. Why do they all sound like they're from Encino? Is it because they're really from Chesapeake Bay and Slooooooowklahoma? They just can't reconcile it with anything. Except one thing. The theme song to the cartoon does specifically state in the second stanza, Splinter taught them to be ninja teens. What if they already were ninjas? And he taught them to be teenagers. Okay, hang on. I think maybe I can compile all this now. With all this new information we've gotten from these books, here is the real, uncut origin of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It all started when a talking Splinter was wandering around the sewers, and he found 4 baby Renaissance painters splashing around in radioactive ooze. When they touched the strange glowing ooze, the 4 of them found themselves mutating into ninjas. Taking them under his wing, the Splinter taught them all the mysterious art of being California teenagers. His name was the Rat. Being a fan of zoology, he named them all after his favorite kind of turtles. There was hawksbills, loggerheads, readier sliders,
It's me.
and of course, terrapins.
Now, doesn't having them all turn out to be aliens seem refreshing by comparison?